everybody, I'm Sunny, the original diva of the WWE, and you're watching DieHard Wrestling. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm here live with Tammy. Thank you for taking the time out to answer a couple of questions.
Sure, what's up?
First question off, how do you feel women are portrayed in the business?
As opposed to when I was in the WWF or now, or?
A basic comparison then and now.
Well, now it's pretty much a meat market. No offense to any of the girls out there that are actually employed full-time in this industry right now, but it's a meat market. They have no talent. They're out there to look good and to have guys drool over them, basically. At least when I was, working for Vince in WWF, what I could contribute actually meant something. I could talk, I could, do a photo shoot, I could, host a TV show, I can do whatever I needed to do. So back then there was a little more substance behind, the characters, and now it's just their flesh. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Do you think they're treated fairly backstage by promoters, bookers, and male workers, the girls of today?
I don't know, because I haven't been there in a little while, so I really don't know how, the 87 girls that are employed there right now are treated backstage. Well, but when I was there, I was respected. I pretty much was on top of the world back there, and there was only a couple of guys, in the higher echelon than I was. But, back when I was there, it was good, and who knows how it is now. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Okay. Do you think that the Diva search takes away opportunities for girls who have worked hard and paid their dues in the business?
Absolutely. I'll be totally honest with you. I think the Diva search is a waste of time. I really do. I can't watch it. The one time I did try to watch it, I had to turn it off. It's just bad, especially when, however many girls, 12 girls had no idea who Kamala was. Please. If you don't know who Kamala is, you shouldn't be in this business, plain and simple. I think I was raised too old school in this business. I've been in, 17 years, and I know my shit, basically, and there's a lot of girls out there that really don't deserve where they are, and there's a lot of girls that have been working in this business for years on independence trying to get their start, and they'll never get there because either their boobs aren't as big as the Diva search girls, or whatever. But I'm not a big fan of the Diva search, put it that way.
I can understand that. What are your thoughts on the girls in the business today? Do you think they get it?
Didn't we just talk about that?
Well, basically, not really. What I mean by that is, the it factor with sort of like the psychology and how things are done at all?
Absolutely not. What I heard, they are, the girls that are there now are run through matches step by step, and it's like memorization. They're memorizing a dance, basically. There's no psychology in that whatsoever. Psychology is when you go in there cold, nothing in your head, and you can either work a match or work ringside or, manage somebody or do something, just spur of the moment improv. That's how I was trained. You just do everything, right off the top of your head, everything improv, and that's the way it should be. And I think it's better that way. At least your full emotion comes out. When things are too scripted and everything's, step by step by step by step, you've seen it once, you've seen it, a million times.
Right. What was the cause of your off-screen problems with Sable?
She's a bitch. That's the cause of it.
Plain and simple, huh?
Plain and simple. Seriously, anybody who's ever met her knows that that's how she is. She's not a nice person. She never was, never will be. And, that's it. She thought, her shit didn't stink, and it stunk.
Well said. Well, how do you respond to Sable's claims that you were never approached by Playboy?
She's so full of it. She just wants to take all the, the credit of being the first one offered Playboy. I was offered Playboy about a year before her, and I turned it down within 5 minutes. What happened was I was called into the office by Vince, and what was her name? Lisa Wolf. She was in charge of the girl things there at the time. And I said, I was only home for 2 days. I had to do laundry, repack it, back out on the road for a month. So I said, can we just talk about whatever you need to talk to me on the phone? They're like, no, we really need to see you in the office. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm getting fired. That's the first thing going through my mind. They need to see me in person. So I get there, and I'm in my business suit, and I'm trying to be all, please don't fire me kind of thing. And I sit down there, and Vince goes, we've had a few phone calls. I'm like, oh, what did I do wrong? Who complained about me? And he's like, no. He goes, we've had a few phone calls from Playboy. I was like, huh? What do you mean? I was 23 at the time. And they're like, yeah, some readers have, written into Playboy, and they contacted us because they want to see you in the magazine. And I went, let me think about this. And it took me seriously all of 5 minutes to say, no, I'm sorry, I'm too young. It wasn't for me. It wasn't the right time in my life to do something like that. So I turned it down. And then I don't know if it was 8 months, a year later, they gave it to her because, they wanted somebody from the company in it. And I said no. But of course, she's going to want to take the credit and say she was the first, but she wasn't. Everybody knows that. Ask Vince, he'll tell you.
I believe you. Is it true you were considered the click chick in the WWE?
Yes, I was the click chick. That was my title. Yeah, I have to say that. I was friends with the click, and I was a little more friendly with one of them. But, I think we all know about that. But, yeah, that was my nickname, the click chick.
Is there any chance you'll be making any appearances in the new ECW?
You know what? When I heard that was coming out, I was really excited about it. I was like, oh my God, ECW again, this is going to be great, because I enjoyed ECW shows. It's fun to watch, they're great, they're exciting. Now, I look at it now, and it's just a bunch of WWE rejects that they can't fit them on SmackDown or Raw. They shove them off to ECW, and it's not an ECW show anymore. It's just, it's a WWE show under the ECW banner. So, I mean, I can't even watch it,
Basically, it's their program under a different banner name.
Oh, absolutely. Just a different name, but it's the same crew, and they just rotate them through all 3 shows. I mean, how is that ECW?
Right.
I mean, it's not like they're doing anything more extreme in ECW than they are on Raw or SmackDown, because they're doing crazy stuff on Raw and SmackDown now. So, to me, it's all the same.
Okay. Do you think your contributions to the business are worthy of being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Good question. I'd love to be inducted. I mean, when I was 23 years old, actually, I was the youngest person ever to be inducted into the Cauliflower Alley Hall of Fame, which I don't know if you know, but that's the industry Hall of Fame. That's not like the company,
I'm familiar with it.
That's the real, it's kind of like the Oscars, per se, because it's the real thing, and I was the youngest person ever inducted when I was 23 years old, so that was just like, wow, that was a huge honor.
Sure.
I mean, of course, the WWE Hall of Fame would be great, but I mean, like, my boyfriend constantly jokes around with me. He's like, oh, if you get inducted, you're going to be considered as, like, old and classic as the rest of them in there. Which, seriously, it's true. I mean, I love the people who are inducted right now. I mean, you have Iron Sheik, you got Nikolai Volkov, you got all those guys, but they're 60 years old. I'm only 34. Give me a little bit more time before you stick me
more of a time frame
in classic, category in the Hall of Fame. Of course it'll be wonderful, and when and if it happens, yeah, it'll happen. I should say when it happens, but
not if or when.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be great, but yeah, I don't know if I'm old enough for that yet, unless they make note that it's the youngest person ever involved.
The big quotation marks.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see, but it would be awesome.
That'd be great. Have you been in contact with the WWE?
I've talked to a few people over the past few years, most recently Howard Finkel, just because I've known him forever, but I mean, you never know. I mean, for the past few years, I've just been in school and not really focused on, this business at all, and now, I'm just, kicked my butt back in gear, and, I'm looking like Sunny again, so, you never know. Ooh, what are you scanning my body? But
that's what
you never know what'll happen.
Oh, I for one would like to see you back in WWE. I mean, have they been in contact with you lately at all?
Not lately, because I don't think they know that, I've gotten myself back in sunny shape, as I like to call it. But you never know what'll happen, and the more appearances I make and the more word gets around, you never know. I'm still young enough, I'm only 34.
Well, I for one, along with others, would like to see you back in WWE as soon as possible. And I'd like to thank you for your time for stopping by.
Anytime. Thanks.
Pleasure.
Stay cool.